Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Wraith here, back with another video. Now, I know I've been gone for a while. A lot of you guys were messaging me on Twitter, Discord, etc., on YouTube comments asking where I was. And the reason for my kind of break is just because I was focusing a lot on school. I'm in college as well as work. Obviously, I've still been keeping up to date with Fortnite. I haven't been playing as much recently. Like right now, I've just kind of been getting back into it because I have a little bit more time on my hands. So I'm a little bit rusty. So hey, we're getting there. But obviously, I've still been keeping up with all of kind of the tips and tricks, how to get better, watching pro players, watching events, etc., etc. So hopefully you guys are just as excited for me coming back as I am. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can improve in today's Fortnite game, because obviously today's game is a little bit different from a year ago or a couple months ago. So basically in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you guys can get better. If you're looking forward to that, make sure you slap the like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. So for the first thing that I guarantee will help you improve no matter what skill level you are, how good you are, how bad you are, is playing in the solo creative matchmaking. It's such an underrated function that so many people don't even bother doing it, but it's literally just a solo realistic with somewhat decent players, sometimes not so much, but even if they're not that good players and you're a really good player, you can just practice W keying and running through them. Like literally every single day before I hop on, obviously if I have time, I literally try and play like 20-30 minutes of that and literally just run through people. If I die, I die. It's no big deal. I just go on my phone or whatever the case is, or whatever you want to do if you die. Not a big deal. But the whole point of it is just to kind of get back, get your mechanics going, kind of warm up a little bit. But not only warm up, but it's actually really, really good for helping you improve, kind of work on your editing a little bit, work on your fighting, working on like kind of an end game scenario, because you're having people shoot at you from the opposite side of the map. There's third parties constantly, like you're always going to be getting sprayed, and it's just a really good way to actually improve your mechanics, your aim, your editing, your building, your when to take high ground, when not to take high ground. Now obviously it's a tad bit unrealistic because everyone has even health, every single person has good weapons, good mats, etc., but it's still really, really good, and I like to kind of consider a good end game simulator. Obviously, it's not the best thing in the world you can absolutely do, but it's just a really good way to kind of help improve your mechanics, your decision making, etc., etc. So I highly recommend you guys play like 20-30 minutes of this a day if possible. If you have nothing else to do and you have no time to play arena or whatever the case is, just literally hop in one of these. They're so quick, so easy, so many people are in them, super quick to get in the game, and I definitely recommend you guys doing this to help improve. Now the next thing is, and you guys know I'm a huge fan, especially if you're a huge fan of the channel and you've been watching me for a while, I really, really think that putting in extra time outside of Fortnite in the kind of external practice is super, super important. So what I mean about that is if you're on keyboard and mouse, is playing some Kovacs outside of playing Fortnite, like spending like 30-40 minutes playing Kovacs every single day is really, really good for helping your aim. Like, you guys have no idea, trust me. I would say probably arguably the best part of my game even to this day, even though I haven't been grinding, is still my aim, and that is because I've grinded Kovacs. I have over like 400-ish hours, give or take, and trust me, putting in that extra work is just so important, and you can 100% improve. Just because you're not playing Fortnite every single day doesn't mean that you can improve. Another external practice would be VOD reviewing, and again, people who are fan of my channels know how key it is and how much I push VOD reviewing either pro players or yourself, and technically you're not playing the game, but you're still doing things that are going to help you improve. So what I mean is by watching your own gameplay, figuring out why you died in each scenario. Did you make a bad rotate? Did you make a bad edit? What did you do that caused you to die in that specific scenario? Or if you feel like you're a pretty solid player, you don't make that many mistakes, and you just want to kind of get better, figure out how to kill people better, etc., etc., is watch pro players. There's pro players playing on Twitch every single day, dozens of them that you can go watch, YouTube clips that you can go watch, Booga, Mongrel, all of them, they all post their YouTube clips that you can go watch, learn how they do it, and repeat it and put it into your own gameplay. Like I said multiple times, there's always someone better than you. There's not one best player in the world. You can say Mongo's the best player, you can say Booga's the best player, you can say whoever you want is the best player, but in reality, since it's a battle royale, there's always going to be someone in that specific day or that specific game who could be better than them. So you can always learn by watching any pro player and trying to pick up tips and tricks that they do to help them do well and win tournaments or do well in tournaments. So trust me, putting in external work like Kovacs, VOD reviewing, all that kind of stuff is just so important, and you will become a much better player by putting in that extra time. Now my next tip, and this is a pretty obvious one, but so many people like don't do it properly, and it's W keying in arena and practicing fighting as much as possible. Now this is kind of similar to the first tip where it's like solo creative matchmaking with the realistics, is you want to be able to feel confident every single time you go in a fight. You don't want to be playing a tournament and being at like 130 HP and be like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, I need to find shield or I'm going to die. Or being in an important game where you're only like 10 points from qualifying and you're like, oh, I can't fight this person because I'm going to die or something's going to go wrong or I could get third party, right? You can't have that mentality. You need to go in and work on fighting as much as possible, so no matter what position you're in, you're always confident W keying someone, or if someone W keys you, you're confident in winning that fight. So the best way, in my opinion, to practice that is by hopping into an arena. Obviously, if you're not in champs and you need to get to champs for a specific like tournament or something like that, worry about getting to champs first. But once you're in champs, there's literally no reason for you to stay there or stay at that point. So if you die 150 times and you drop down to 3,000 points, who cares? It absolutely makes no difference because you already made champs. So what I would recommend doing is landing somewhere, either your specific drop spot, or what I like to do is land somewhere kind of right off spawn where there's like, for example, if the bus is going over Craigie or Misty or Holly, I just like to land there so I can practice fighting off spawn. But if you're pretty solid off spawn and you just want to practice mid-game fights or W keying, land somewhere with maybe 1 to 2 people and literally just do what I said, practice W keying. Farm up a little bit, get somewhat decent mats, somewhat decent shield, blah blah blah, and then just practice fighting people. If you get third partied and you get killed, who cares? But the more confident you feel fighting people and killing people, the way better you're going to do in tournaments. Like I said, you can't go into tournaments being scared of fighting. Kills are just important as placements. Sure, you can get like top 15, top 20 every single game, but if you're not getting a couple kills here or there, well then you're not going to do well in the tournament. So trust me, practice fighting and you'll become a better player. Now my next tip, and so many people struggle with this that I just can't wrap my head around it, is you have to play every single event to the best of your ability. If you go into every single cash cup thinking like, oh, I don't really care how I do, if I die all 10 games, whatever, right? Now it's important to have like a mentality where you want to do good, but if you're just playing the event to kind of play the event, or you're not even playing, or you quit after 3 games, how are you supposed to get better when it comes to an actual event? So for example, if you play every single solo cash cup like you don't really care, and you quit after 3 or 4 games, or you rage quit after you die a specific game or something like that, whatever happens, well then when it comes to like DreamHack or even next year's World Cup, when it's actually money on the line and you need to do well, you're going to have that mentality where after 1 bad game, you're going to quit, or you're not going to care enough. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, no, when it's a money event, I'm going to change it and I'm going to do way better. When in reality, that's not how it works. Like, if you take every single event lightheartedly and you don't try in every single event, when it comes to the main events, you're not going to perform. I can guarantee it to you. So what I would do if I were you guys would be play every single solo cash cup, every trio cash cup, whatever kind of cups there are, and you try and play to the best of your ability. Try and play all 10 games. If you die a couple games and you get frustrated, just take a little bit of break, focus, and try again. If you just quit every single time, trust me, you guys will not do good when the time comes for you to do good. Now my last tip, and trust me, so many people overlook this, is finding a friend group that's positive and also wants to grind. So many people just play solo and get burnt out, or have people who just don't really want to play, they like play with random people, blah blah blah, and it's still going to translate to your game. I guarantee you, if you're playing with people who barely want to try, who get frustrated every single game, who don't want to practice, don't want to like motivate themselves, whatever the case is, you are going to do the same thing. It's only, you can only self-motivate so much. So trust me, like so many pros talk about this, that friend groups are so important, and it's because it is. Like, it's kind of like that saying where you become like the top, like your 5 best friends. Like if your 5 best friends are all negative people, don't want to work, don't want to do anything in life, they're just lazy, don't want to do anything, you're going to become like that. If your 5 best friends are all grind motivated, they want to get the best job possible, they want to do everything they possibly can to make their life better, you're going to be the exact same. You're going to be motivated, you're going to be wanting to have the best life possible. And the same thing goes to Fortnite. If your friends are motivated to become the best players they possibly can, and you're talking with them every single day, wanting to get better, practicing with each other, you're going to become the best player you possibly can. If you're playing with people who are just super negative, don't care about the game, well then you're going to do the same thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit that subscribe button. Use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.